Hello, hello, everybody. How are you? How's it going today? If you can hear me from out there, I want you to please type I can hear you in the comment section. I just want to be sure I'm not speaking to myself. I believe you all have already noticed I am currently not broadcasting from my studio. I'm in a hotel and I will be having an event later today. So I'm broadcasting from my room. So if you can hear me out there, please type I can hear you. I just want to be sure I am not speaking to myself. Yes, waiting for somebody. So we have a very important guest from Maryland, and she's going to be talking to us about her book. She's a powerful woman, an entrepreneur, a speaker, coach. So before I introduce her, I want you all to please like and share this broadcast. Like and share the broadcast. Like and share the broadcast because there's somebody out there on your contact list who will certainly benefit from this interview. Like and share the broadcast, please. So if you can hear me, type I can hear you. All right, so let's go straight. Um, Welcome all to another very important episode of the Morale Booster with Dr. John Ughulu. And as usual, I have a very important guest all the way from Maryland. Her name is Jenise McNair. I would like to give you a rundown, a summary about Jenise. Jenise is an entrepreneur, an international best-selling author, two times best-selling author, mindset coach, and a motivational speaker who's determined to get the best out of life despite obstacles that may arise. Janice has been featured, seen on ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. So that's to tell you she has gone like everywhere, everywhere. She's known. So Janice McNair overcame so many disappointments and hardships that tried to prevent her from unleashing her greatness within. After years of feeling like she was losing in life, she recognized that she would only be able to live up to her full potential if she was willing to fight for it. Yes. Developing a winning mindset has taught Janice how to leverage her setbacks so she can take the lead and win. Janice is now a 10-time marathoner who understands if you really want something in life, you have to be willing to fight for it. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want you all to help me welcome to the stage Janice McNair. Janice, welcome to the stage. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much, Dr. John. I appreciate it. So happy of being here today. So excited to be here today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. You look good. Your background is awesome. Your
Thank
hat, I
you.
love your fedora. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thought I
So do
come a
you
little stylish today.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's you've got a lot of style. Trust me, I
Thank
can tell you.
you.
Yeah. So do you always wear those
I'm so
hats?
Yes, so I just got into it. The weather's breaking, it's fall. So I thought I'd try something different, going into the fall and the winter. So I've been rocking my hats lately.
Right, right. That's great, great. So yes, I see you are a two times best-selling author. So today we would focus on your book.
Okay.
Can you please tell us what your book is all about? What's your book all about? Is it about mindset? Is it about science fiction? What was it? What category?
Okay, so both my books are nonfiction. They're both self-help books. My first book was basically for someone that has found themselves in a hard place, right? Hit rock bottom. It's called Potential of a Man versus Truth. We find ourselves always looking in greatness in other people, right? We look at someone and we see the potential in that person and we root them on and we push them forward. But for some reason, we really never do it for ourselves. So, Potential of a Man versus Truth was being able to recognize your own potential within yourself. and being able to accept harsh realities and harsh truths that we really run from, that we shouldn't run from, because it's our truth that makes us powerful, and it
True.
allows us to have, it allows us to take control back over our lives when we're able to own who we are and own our personal truths. My second book is Fighting for Your Full Potential. It's like, okay, hey, I got potential, but now what? What do I do with this potential that I have on the inside of me? How do I even reach my full potential? It's so cliche. You hear people all the time say, you got potential, but what is potential with no action, with no effort? What does potential really mean? So my second book is a continuation from my first book, which really gives people the blueprint and the guidelines to really set themselves up to win and really fight for their full potential and become the greatest version of themselves.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you have copies of those books with you there?
I do. So the first one is here,
Okay,
Potential of a
potential of
Man versus
a,
Truth. This
right.
is the first one. It's face your painful truths and be free to live the life that you deserve. A lot of our painful truth, they always say the truth hurts, and it's true, but
True.
the truth
True.
also can set you free. And a lot of times it's our painful truth that we don't want to accept, we want to run from, but it's those painful truths that really allows us to see who we are and what we're made of and really own who we are. And my
Wow.
second book is Fighting for Your Full Potential. Here it is, Unleash Your Greatness Within and Experience Nothing But Wins. We live a life where a lot of us, we dream, we want to believe, but at the end of the day, we really can have the life that we desire. We can get whatever it is that we want in life if we believe we can have it and we're willing to put in the work.
Wow, wow. That's powerful. Powerful. I can just right now I see you speaking on the stage. Like I see I'm trying to imagine you speak on the stage, how powerful you would be as a speaker,
Oh,
right?
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
that. That is definitely a dream goal of mine that I'm working towards, just trying to impact and just show, women across the world, people across the world, that you're possible. Your dreams are possible. No matter your downfalls, no matter what you have gone through, you are possible. You are enough. And the life that you desire is yours. It's in your hands.
Right, that's true. I agree with you. It is you alone who can make things work for yourself.
Absolutely.
No matter the motivation you hear or you get, or the inspiration you get or you hear, if you do not make up your mind to take action, it will still remain a fantasy. Am I right?
Absolutely. It's just
Eh,
a fantasy. It's like you're daydreaming, right? But
True,
that's what we do. We dream and we visualize ourselves having those things, but we don't believe that we can really obtain it. And
true,
that's what causes it to still be a dream,
true, true. That's correct. Yeah. So, out of those two books you've written, which would you say is your favorite?
So this, for right now, I have to be biased. This one right
It's
here is
allowed.
this is my baby. This is my
Okay.
baby because this took me 6 years to write, right?
Whoa. Wow.
And this book right here is kind of uncut. This is the book, Potential of a Man versus Truth. It talks about all of the things that stops us from reaching our full potential, the things
Okay.
that we deal with of the world, all of the elements that we deal with of the world that we just really have to be honest with. Those are the things that's stopping us, whether it's, toxic relationships, whether it's poor relationship with your mom and your dad, whether it's, child abuse, sexual abuse, those hard truths that really stops us from moving ahead. This book touches on those things. And it was one of those things where it was a healing journey for me. It was a healing journey to say, hey, I made it out of this. And it's time for me to reach back and bring another woman ahead with me to let them know, guess what? You can overcome anything. There's nothing
Right.
in life that you can't overcome. And I know we associate pain. We think because we're in pain, we can't overcome. But pain really allows us to tap into our strength. Pain
Great.
really allows us to tap into our greatness and understand that we're stronger than what we believe when we put our mind towards just overcoming and healing properly.
Right. 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 Thank you so much for that. I think the network is kind of not too good at the moment, but however, we will make it work. Now,
Absolutely.
you talked about being able to overcome challenges. Right now, the level of depression globally has increased.
Mm,
The level of anxiety globally has increased. The
absolutely.
level of domestic violence in the
Mm,
world has increased. Even the level of hunger has increased. I know you are not a therapist,
right.
right? Yeah, so I just want to do a full disclosure. So, for those people who are currently listening to this program, what's your candid advice to them?
Being being transparent with everyone. I was also, in a circumstance where I was physically and verbally abused with my children's father, right?
Wow.
So I was in a very abusive relationship. I felt alone. I lost my mom during that process. That's what caused me to
Wow.
kind of get into that relationship because I was
Wow.
missing my mom. I was kind of like I lost my mom, I lost my mind, right?
Yes.
So I found myself in this abusive relationship. I found myself when I chose to walk away, I didn't have enough money to feed my kids. I didn't have an education, and I found myself in a place where I was down in a dumpster. And this book I end up writing because during the pandemic, I've written two books in the pandemic. My first one came out in April, but I felt like, no, this is a time right now where we have to fight. We have
Yes.
to fight right now in this pandemic. This is the time that we got to show up for ourselves. This is the time that regardless of what's happening around us, we can't give up. So
True.
I said, I know I wanted to write a book 2 years from this, my first book, but I said, oh no, we need this right now. People need to know that this is the time that you don't give up on yourself. This is the time that you press forward. This is the time that you can't focus on what's happening around us, but try to create another space, a
Right.
winning space that's going to cause us to win. And I have a clothing line that's called Windemic,
Okay.
and it is a breakout of victories and triumphs that becomes contagious amongst others around you. It's important to surround yourself around other like-minded people, people who want to win, people who want to overcome, people who are going to continue to be positive even in the midst of obstacles.
True.
So you have to create that space for yourself. And it's okay to have moments where you're like, hey, things aren't going good right now, but it's the positivity that cause us to continue to push forward. So,
True.
the toxic relationship, the abusive relationship, the neglect, financial needs, all of those things are things that we have to press in. One day, every day gets better as long as we continue to push forward, right?
Right.
So my advice is to continue to push forward, continue to keep going, continue to visualize yourself out of your circumstance and into a better circumstance that you believe that you deserve.
Wow. 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 I must give you a big round of applause for that. Look, that was inspirational,
Thank you.
motivational. You know, what I gathered from there was you used yourself
Yeah.
as an example. You just told the listeners, the viewers, about your story, how you were able to overcome your challenges. And you made it clear that one has to be intentional,
Right.
that you have one has to be intentional, and one has to keep a positive mind. Yes, not
Yeah.
just keeping a positive mind or mindset, hanging around quality people, people who would inspire you, people who would motivate you, people who would understand that at that time, at that point of going through challenges, they are heavily a support system.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so, so, so much. Now, if you are listening to this program via podcast or watching via YouTube or Facebook, just like what Jenny said, everything in life has a season and a time. The depression it has a season and a time. The anxiety, the same thing. Am I right, Janice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a season for everything, you know. It's a season, and I'm creating a season of wins. You know, everybody has this time limit where I'm even getting out of saying that it's a season, you know. No, this can be an ongoing thing, you know. This winning can be an ongoing thing. It's a lifestyle. Winning is a lifestyle. And it's
I'm
all
telling you.
yeah, it's mental. It's really mental. You know, when I hit rock bottom, you know, it's hard trying to bring yourself up, and it's even harder when you have I had three small kids that I had to be responsible for while trying to pick myself up. You know, so I had to tap in mentally to know that, hey, you don't want to stay here, and you want better for your kids, and you want to learn from your mistakes. You know, all failures aren't bad. You know, failing allows you to rebuild, it allows for you to heal, it allows you to get stronger. And, you know, you create a season for yourself, create just ongoing, continuous wins. That's what you create for yourself.
That's right. Continuous wins. You know,
Continuous wins.
someone once said failure is evidence of work in progress.
Absolutely.
Right. Life will definitely throw curveballs at us. And you have been able to use your story to impact lives. And I know there's somebody out there who has just been touched. I know there's somebody out there who has just been healed from your story. And I want you to continuously share your story because in life, I've come to realize that we were born to do four things. And what are those four things? To serve, to lead, to influence, and to impact lives.
Absolutely.
And you have a story that can help you go through every stage that I just mentioned. And I want you to keep it up.
Thank you
Keep it
so
up.
much,
Keep doing
Pastor
what you're
Carl.
doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You are light to the world,
Thank
whether
you.
you like it or not.
Right.
All
Thank
right. For those
you.
of you listening, please like and share this broadcast because there is definitely somebody on your contact list who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message so that they can heal. No
Absolutely.
condition is permanent. No condition is permanent. That's why the universal law of polarity says everything in the universe has two poles. After the rainy season comes what? The other season. After bad comes good.
Yep.
All right. After
Absolutely.
recession comes expansion. All right. After sickness comes good health. So no matter what you're going through, no matter what anyone who is watching or listening is going through, if Janice could overcome her life challenges, it's also possible for you. Am I right, Janice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely possible.
Awesome, awesome. So, how did you celebrate when you finished writing your book?
Oh man,
How what was the feeling like?
I'm going to be completely honest. You know, you see these movies, right? And, you know, you're like, oh, it's a movie. It's a movie when we see things that take place. And I've always seen people like cry, you know, tears of joy. And I used to always
Right.
wonder, like, is that really a thing? Like, can you really like get that emotional where you're crying tears of joy? When I published my book and I became a best-selling author, I cried tears of joy because it was something, it was a milestone for me. It was me transitioning into my greatness, putting a
Yes.
goal in front of me and seeing it through. You know, one of my favorite scriptures from Will Smith says, you know, he said, you know, set a goal so big that you can't achieve it until you grow into the person that can. And at that moment, when I published my book, that was me seeing myself growing into this woman that, you know, God called me to be. My parents raised me to be. And none of those things, none of my hiccups, none of my failures, none of those things stopped me from moving forward and publishing a book and writing a book. I mean, I had three kids. I had to deal with my kids. I had to write a book. I had to see this thing through. So I cried tears of joy. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is really a thing. Like I'm crying. Like I'm happy. They were happy tears though. So, you know, I celebrated with my kids. I told each and every one of them, there's nothing that you can't do in
Yeah.
life. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have things that's going to set you back. But at the end of the day, as long as you keep looking straight ahead and allow yourself to make the effort, to put in the action, and to know that you're worth it, there's nothing that you can't obtain. So, it
True.
was just tears of joy for myself, for my kids, for my journey. I remember that day like it was yesterday. It was an
Oh, wow.
amazing.
I can imagine that feeling because
Yeah,
it's not it's it could be challenging
yeah, absolutely.
writing a book.
Yes,
Could be very challenging,
yeah,
time consuming. Sometimes you experience all the writer's block and
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
Okay, so what's the most valuable piece of advice you would give to someone who wants to start writing a book?
Just right. A
Yes.
lot of times we have all of this, like, oh, I want to get this, I want to have the title, I want to have this. No, whatever God puts on your heart at that moment, you write it down right away. We allow ourselves to get in our own way. Nope, whatever's on your heart, when you wake up, you grab the pen, you get your laptop, and you write it down. That's where you start. You just write and download. That's it.
That's true. I love that. I love that. I want to share a little story. This happened some few days back. It was about around 2:40 a.m.
Hmm.
and a friend of mine just sent me a text and wanted to, because she felt I was already asleep. So she wanted to make an inquiry, but she sent me a text. And immediately I called, and my voice was so sharp, so sharp. And she was like, "What? You're not sleeping?" I said, "No. In fact, I have been writing for the past 1 hour." That was what I said to her.
Right.
Because such time of the day for me is normally more convenient, when it's past midnight. It's
Right.
always easier for me to really settle down away from the stress, the noise, and it
Yeah.
flows. I was writing, and she said she was also doing the same thing, but about to go to
Wow.
bed, So that's it. So I would always encourage people to, look for those times of the day where there's less noise,
Hmm.
less activities. It's easier. What do you think about that?
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. A lot of times I had to sacrifice, when you want something, you have to sacrifice something. And a lot of my time I had to sacrifice my sleep, just to be honest with you. By the time I got the kids settled, they had their activities, I fed them, and the house was quiet. By that time, it's midnight, it's 1 o'clock. But that I had to sacrifice some sleep, but it was at a moment where I was able to clear my head. I never wanted to write when I felt like I had a lot going on, because I felt like I couldn't give my all. So anytime that I chose to write, I had to be my mind had to be clear. I couldn't have people calling me and bothering me and pulling me one way or the other. Like you said, it had to be quiet. And a lot of that time was in the middle of the night. Most definitely.
That's true. That's true. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, where can people find your book to buy?
Both of my books can be bought on Amazon.com. They also can be bought on my website, which is my name, JeniseMcNair.com. So on
Okay.
Amazon.com, or at the bottom of the screen, JeniseMcNair.com. You can purchase them on either website.
Awesome. That's great. So, look, if you're listening to this program now, please, I want you to go and purchase her book. Go to her website, go on Amazon, just read about her. It's on Amazon.
Yep.
Now, technology, for those of you who are listening via podcast, I want you to please repeat the names for me, Janice, so my
Sure.
listeners
So,
listening via podcast can hear.
first book is Potential of a Man versus Truth. Face your painful truths and live the life that you deserve. And the second one is Fighting for Your Full Potential. Unleash your greatness within and experience nothing but wins.
Right, right, right. And her website is janisemcnair.com. I'll spell it for you. JENISEMCNAIR. air.com. So if you're listening via podcast, I want you to go right now and check her out. And what social media platforms are you active on?
I'm mostly active on Instagram. My name is woman, WOMAN _of strength, STRENGHT, and the number 31. Women_of women_strength 31. And as well as Facebook, Jenise McNair.
Awesome, great. So she's active on Instagram and Facebook. So just to make it easy for you, just type her name
Yes,
and it will come up.
yes,
Jenise McNair. Just type it and you would see her. All right. Thank you so much, Jenny. So before we round up for today, I want you to speak to the heart of. Okay, now you have a coach. You do coaching, right?
I do.
Right. Do you only coach women, or is it open to
It is
anyone?
my general population is women, but it is open to everyone. It's open to anyone who wants to be great, who just wants
Okay.
the blueprint of just knowing how to win. Anyone is welcome to my coaching program.
Right. Right. So I would recommend her service to especially those women who are currently overwhelmed, probably in an abusive relationship, or single mothers who have young kids and for some reason think that it's not possible for them to achieve their dreams because they have young kids. Janice has been through that. She can share with you strategies on how she was able to not give up, strategies on how she was able to transition from that tough moment to the level where she is right now. So I want you to please follow her on Instagram, Facebook. Look, the world is now a global village. This is a time for everybody to seek help when help is needed. If you feel you cannot do it alone, not if you feel, nobody's an island. We cannot do it alone, right? They say if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go as a team. You need a mentor, you need a coach, you need someone who has been through all those challenges you're currently going through. And the internet has made networking easier than it used to be. So connect with Janice on Facebook, Instagram. Share your stories with her and let her give you strategies on how to get unstuck. Am I right, Janice?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you. Please reach
Awesome.
out.
Awesome. Thanks. I want you to speak to the soul of that woman, that single parent who feels having young children is a barrier for them to achieve their goals. Just 1 minute or 2 minutes, okay?
Sure.
All right.
So, as a mother, it's natural for us to feel like we would be selfish if we continue to go after our dreams and do the things that we desire because we feel like our time is up when we have our children. But the truth of the matter is that your children are looking to you. When you are your best self, you're able to be your best self to your children. You're able to be be the best mother to your children, and you're able to be your best self to you. At the end of the day, I am a firm believer that your self development is the foundation of your success. Taking the time to know who you are and the things that you want and the things that you desire will allow you to learn the things that you had no idea that you were capable of doing and becoming a woman that you never thought that you had the possibility to become because you have kids and because all of your time is going to your children. At the end of the day, there is a moment where you have to put yourself first. I know it sounds crazy, but you come before your kids. Because if you aren't your best self, if you aren't making sure that you're taken care of, then you're not able to be your best self to your children. As long as you are your greater self, you're always going to be what you need to be to your friends, to your kids, and most importantly, to yourself. At the end of the day, we have to take one day at a time and understand who we are and the things that we desire. Because at the end of the day, our children, they're looking towards you. They're looking at you and saying, my mom did it. I know I can do it because she did it. So don't ever give up on your dreams. Your dreams are non negotiable, they cannot be sacrificed.
Right, right. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Powerful, powerful. That resonates with me as well because um my my dad died when I was in high school. So my mom had to step into the role of being a mother, a father, an uncle, an aunt, and everything, right?
Everything,
Yes. So
everything.
yeah, so that resonates with me. So I really, 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 really do appreciate powerful women. Not just powerful women. I appreciate every woman. Women
Absolutely.
are powerful.
Yes.
The thing is that you need to understand that you are stronger than you think you are.
Hmm.
As a woman, you are so powerful, so strong. Because I watched my mom, I watched her take charge. So it is possible. Janice has done it, my mom has done it, every other woman out there can do it. Don't
You can
allow
do it.
anything stop you. Don't allow any other thing stop you. It is possible. For as long as people have done it, it means it is possible for you. All right.
Mm.
So thank you so much, Janice. Thank you so much. Please go and purchase her book, connect with her, and you would not regret it. Okay, go follow her on Instagram and Facebook right now, please. Let's see the comments here. Oh, Ify, my brother, he says, "What's up, my people? How are you, my brother? How's it going? Thank you for watching." Let's see who else. Senada, yes, she said, yes, keep going and never give up. Well done,
Absolutely.
my dears, to both of you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Senada. These are
Thank
beautiful.
you.
These are beautiful words of encouragement. Janice, thank you so much for coming here to share your story. I hope when next I call you to show up, you would come for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been my pleasure.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. I learned a lot from her, and I believe you also did the same thing. Until same time next week, let's all have a beautiful weekend. I know the sound was kind of not too good on my end. I apologize for that. I have an event today. I will be speaking later today. And
Awesome.
yeah, I'm currently broadcasting from my hotel room. And that's why it is delayed. The most important thing is we delivered the message. Janice was able to spread the love, she was able to speak to the soul of somebody out there. So please remember to like and watch, like and forward this broadcast so that somebody on your contact list who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message so that they can be healed will eventually hear it. Thank you, everybody, and
Thank you.
have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Janice. Have a
Thank
great
you
day.
so much. Have a great event.
All right. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.